Chapter 208, 100 starts with the trio of Isagi, Yoichi and Igarashi, who are improving their stamina with shuttle runs, and we can see an impressive Yoichi, who once again shows how much of a stamina beast he is, as he's storming away in front of Isagi and Igarashi, but unlike Igarashi who gave up, Isagi can kind of keep up with Yoichi this time, which is very impressive and also shows how much Isagi has improved his stamina compared to his fitness level during the first selection, and even the first best at Munich training. Isagi's training then goes on with Corona, and they are doing a one-touch pass training, and here we can see that Isagi still kind of has technical flaws, but has improved as well, as he was able to do one-touch passes with Corona over a longer period, and the training then continues with off-the-ball training. And here Isagi has to compete against Yukimiya in a 1v1, and unsurprisingly, Isagi has already mastered his off-ball movement as he was able to trap the cross from Hiyori and got past Yukimiya to score a goal with a direct shot. And the training ends with everyone of the German team being impressed of how much Isagi has improved in the last couple of weeks. The scene then cuts to Hiyori and Isagi, who are taking a break from training and talking to each other. And Isagi explains to Hiyori what Meta Vision is and which advantages Isagi gains from it. Isagi notices that to him Meta Vision kind of sounds like an extension of that reflex thing Hiyori mentioned back then during the third selection, just that Meta Vision has a major drawback, as it drains Isagi's stamina like crazy. Hiyori then also adds the fact that that time, Isagi's movements were unable to keep up with his thought process, which has changed now, and which is also a sign of how much Isagi has evolved, as Isagi now kind of has every single weapon in his arsenal, but the most impressive one to Hiyori is the playmaking and the movements that Isagi does nowadays. And according to Hiyori, Isagi is now able to manipulate every single player on the field, and also able to read everyone's mental state with his egocentrism, which was the reason why Yuki felt as Isagi was a kind of godlike game master on the last play in the Manshine C match. And Isagi at this moment realizes that he kind of has gained the same presence and abilities like, for example, Rin, when he faced Rin in the second selection. We've seen this very recently in the anime, where Rin always has this kind of waterish aura around him, which resembles his aura and the feeling that all his opponents have whenever they play against him. And Isagi kind of has this now, which is pretty cool. And just with the difference that unlike Rin, Isagi achieved this aura in the Neo Eagles League, where he faced the world's best players, which is super impressive, and which also shows that Isagi has now reached the big league. But although Isagi has improved in every category, he still thinks that he won't be able to beat Kaiser yet in this state, and that he still needs to improve and find something that will help him to score a goal with 100% certainty. Because in this match against Manshine C, he had the help of Noah, who constantly supported Isagi so he could play freely. So Isagi is still one final piece short to beat Kaiser. We then see Isagi spectating Yoichi and Igarashi, and Igarashi keeps annoying Yoichi because Igarashi doesn't stop to flop and dive to get cheap fouls with his militia skill. And I think this is also a kind of foreshadowing that although Igarashi is bad in like everything he does, he will have a special moment with his militia skill where he will maybe get a decisive penalty for his team. Yoichi is an impressive Igarashi skill as there is VAR and confronts Igarashi for being an idiot, and they both kept arguing. But Igarashi's and Yoichi's discussion triggers something in Isagi, an idea, a formula, which will help him destroy Kaiser by 100%. Isagi thanks Igarashi and then storms off towards another training room to find a player who can help him to utilize the new piece he just found. The door opens and we see Kunigami, who's training with raids. With Isagi telling Kunigami that he needs his help, the chapter comes to an end. Another cooldown chapter, which should be the last cooldown chapter before the match against Ubers. So this chapter summed up Isagi's achievements since his arrival at bluelock and how much he has improved. And Isagi has mastered the off-ball movement from Naruhaya, has improved his stamina, which he will need to be able to use his new gain technique, the Meta Vision, which he was also only able to learn due to the help of Hiyori, who gave him like the basics. And Isagi has also improved his technique on the ball, which was horrible at the beginning of bluelock. So basically there's one piece missing for Isagi, which will be to find a final piece that will help him to score goals with a certainty of 100%. Because unlike Kaiser, who has the Kaiser Impact, which is a guaranteed goal, Isagi doesn't really have a weapon like this besides the direct shot, which he can only use in a specific occasion. So what could be the final piece that Isagi is searching for, and why would he need Kunigami to help him? So there are currently several theories. The most obvious one would be that Isagi is going to train his left foot, so he will be able to pull off direct shots with his weak foot, as he has always scored goals with his strong right foot, which would also correlate with Igarashi's malicious skill of drawing fouls through the help of his weak side. Another possibility could be that Isagi will develop a kind of similar zone shooting technique like Kunigami and Baru have with their middle and zone shot. But I don't think that it's going to be either one of them, as they both don't sound and feel very, let's say, Isagi-ish. The most likely theory in my opinion that could happen is that Isagi is going to develop another fake direct shot. Thanks to Igarashi, who mastered to draw fouls from anyone who changed his right side, Isagi got the inspiration idea to develop a technique that will help him to do a direct shot from every angle. So why would he need Kunigami's help then, you may ask? As we know, Kunigami has two big strengths, ambidextery and physicality. And I'm pretty sure that Isagi will ask Kunigami to help him to improve his balance. Kunigami is a player who hardly loses the ball in tackling due to his great physicality and has proven in the past that he can still use his middle shot, for example, although he gets pressured or tackled by opponents. Isagi struggled with this in the past and wasn't able to use his direct shot when he got tackled by Kaiser or Zai, who bumped Isagi on his left side. So Kunigami might be the piece that he needs to strengthen his core and left side, so he will be able to do direct shots from both sides or be able to learn more fake direct shots like the back heel direct shot and pass, which Isagi already did in the past matches. So like Igarashi polishes his dice, Isagi will polish his direct shot variations, which will also open more fake direct shots techniques for him. Alright, what do you think about the current chapter? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, stay safe and have a nice day.